Hello, good evening basketball fans. Welcome to the SGS College Arena. It's European North Basketball League action right here in Bristol. Tonight the hometown Bristol Flyers face one of their toughest tests yet as they take on the unbeaten Syntainics MBC from Germany. Flyers have shown real promise in the ENBL so far this season. 2 wins, 1 defeat to their name so far, looking to reverse their recent home form on the European stage, but standing in their way tonight, a red-hot MBC side that's been flying high both domestically and in Europe. A perfect 3-0 record for them in European play so far, carrying that same momentum into the German Bundesliga, where they've stormed out to a 5-2 start and sit third in the standings. Very well, welcome to you at home. Thanks for tuning in wherever you're joining us from around the world. My name's Joel Osborne. I'm very pleased to be joined for this one tonight alongside former Bristol Flyers club captain Gareth Till. Gareth, great to have you with us. This is what it's all about here tonight, isn't it? One of the toughest tests yet on the European stage.
Yeah, thanks, Joel. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, that's exactly why we're here. ENBL, get these big tough games from the Bundesliga, flying high, third in the division. It's a tough test for the Bristol Flyers, but this is what we've signed up for, a big night of European basketball in Bristol.
And this is the second time that the Flyers have been able to host a team from the German Bundesliga in this competition. Doesn't really get much bigger than European nights like this. Well, it's time for us to talk through the team news for both of these sides, starting with the Bristol Flyers, and they were boosted by the return of club captain Owen McCormack at the weekend. He went 5 for 6 from downtown for 19 points in Friday night's win over the Caledonia Gladiators. And Gareth, that was a big boost for this Bristol Flyers side.
Yeah, and very important having Owen back as well. Really, helped solidify that win. He had a real impact, really got on a hot streak, knocking down some big 3-pointers and led his team to victory. Obviously a difficult time for Owen coming back into the team, but showing out on the floor, helping his team get that win against Caledonia.
6 Flyers players finished in double figures in that win on Friday. Another player who's been in fine form all season long for the Flyers has been Will Yoakum. He's coming in off a 20-point game on Friday night. He's the leading scorer in the ENBL for Bristol Flyers this season. He's averaging 16 points on the European stage. He really has been consistent all season long. Really consistent,
and 20 points at the weekend, Joel. And I don't think he had his best game for Flyers, but he still ended up with 20 points. Came out really aggressive on Friday night. Didn't quite drop for him early doors, but still managed to get those points. He just works so well off of the ball. He doesn't look to force things. He just makes really good reads, and he's got a team surrounding him that can find him on those cuts.
Let's talk you through the team news for Syntainics MBC. They are led by Italian head coach Marco Ramondino. Big news for them. They are without their second leading scorer in the ENBL this season, Kyrie Thomas. He's had to fly home for personal reasons, been averaging 15 points per game in Europe this season. Could be a big loss for them tonight, but one player who will have to carry the extra load is American shooting guard Spencer Reeves. He is their leading scorer in the ENBL this season, 18 points per game for him. And that's one thing about this side, Gareth. They've got a lot of depth that can fill in his absence.
Yeah, an awful lot of depth, and you would expect that from a team that play in the Bundesliga. So, they'll be able to cope with his absence. They've got, very talented, experienced roster. As you mentioned Reeves, Callison, Foster, all guys that have been scoring double digits in domestic and European basketball. So a lot of talent that the coach can call upon.
I'm sure Coach Kapoulis would have done his research into MBC, but what is it that Bristol have to do here to return to winning ways in Europe in front of their home fans tonight?
Yeah, it's going to be a tough game. It's knowing the scout, knowing the threats that are on the opposition. And this is a team that like to push the ball. They can shoot the basketball, shooting a high percentage in this competition as well. Going to have to run shooters off the line, play good defense, and it's going to have to be a 40-minute game with Joel. The sort of stereotypical thing, playing a 40-minute game, but it's going to be really important. You will get exposed if you don't focus in and get locked in for this game.
Well, this is the second time that a team from Germany have come up against the Flyers in European North Basketball League action. Of course, Bamberg Baskets visited the Wise campus last season. They picked up a 10-point win on the road here over Coach Kapoulis' side. And if that game was anything to go by, Gareth, we're certainly in for a treat here tonight.
And I think it kind of laid the marker last year that we can compete with teams in the Bundesliga. Bamberg are a tough team in that competition in Germany. So they'll be buoyed by that. Coach Kapoulis, we're learning all the time, being in this European European competition. So, I think every year we're in it, we'll grow, and they'll be looking forward to the challenge. It's a tough game. It's a tough week of basketball for the Flyers, but this is the first game in that sort of series of tough game. London on Friday, Cheshire on Sunday, so they'll be looking to put a big performance tonight.
Well, MBC looking to extend their perfect red-hot start to life in the European North Basketball League. Also, they are third in the German BBL, 5 wins, 2 defeats to their name. There are only 2 losses coming at the hands of Alba Berlin and Ludwigsburg in their last 2 games. And of course, that perfect 3-0 record in European action. They'll be keen to maintain that 100% record on the road tonight in Bristol. Their lowest margin of victory has been 20 points as well. So they're not only beating teams in the European North Basketball League, they're beating them comfortably, Gareth.
Yeah, we mentioned, off air, Joel, there's quite a big gap in the standard of basketball from sort of top Bundesliga teams to other teams in Europe as well. So I wouldn't go too much on that. Bristol had some really tough games last year against some really good opposition. So I think Bristol will give them a really good test tonight, and hopefully do a good showing for British basketball in the SLB in European competition.
You see there, John Lansdowne in the house alongside Bristol Flyers CEO Lisa Knights, both in the building for a big European matchup. And this could be one of the biggest names that the Flyers have faced in their history, their over 20-year history of the club. Tonight's officials, Stefan Stefanov from Bulgaria, Michael Kuzia from Poland, and Serafim Petrov, also from Bulgaria. And we are getting set to tip this one off. Quick rundown of the starting fives before we get underway. No changes to the 5 for Bristol Flyers that started against Caledonia Gladiators on Friday. Owen McCormack is set to come off the bench. It's Joe Anderson, Will Yoakum, Cam Holden, Zach Anderson, and Darnell Brody. Meanwhile, for MBC, of course, no Kari Thomas for them. Is Charles Callison, Spencer Reeves, Marcus Foster, RJ Gunn, and Jure Planinic. Well, we are all set and underway. Wednesday night basketball in Europe, a start of a busy week for the Flyers. And the opening tip is won by Bristol. And they will get the first possession of this game. Anderson. Coming off the screen, kicks it out to Zach Anderson. Corner 3 ball is short. Offensive rebound by Brody. He goes up with it, can't get the finish, but a foul is called. And an early pair of free throws coming up for the Flyers big man. Yeah, good call. A little delayed there. I think Brody was expected to call a little earlier. Referee had a little think about it and then decided to call there. Just a bit of contact there with that pump fake, getting the defender in the air and able to draw that contact. Brody, big presence for him. We were a bit concerned on Friday night. Obviously, he hobbled out of the game in that third quarter. A bit of a dead leg, according to coach, but back in the game, and a big addition to have him back in this game. Of course, that will be a tasty matchup. Very big team, MBC, here in Bristol. Just seeing them in the flesh. That'll be a tasty matchup inside. Here's Callison. Reeves. Reeves coming off the screen. Pulls up for 3. Ball bobbles in and out. And Darnell Brody with his second rebound. Yeah, and Reeves, Joel, he's a guy that'll look to hunt for those 3-pointers. Shooting 41% in ENBL competition from behind the arc. Anderson coming out to Yoakum. He puts it on the floor up against Reeves. Fakes it. Takes it for 2. Overcooks it. And both teams yet to get points on the board. A minute into this game. Callison. Planinic sets the screen. Shot clock down to 6. Callison pulls up for a mid-range 2 and splashes it for the game's first field goal. And Callison there just surveying what was in front of him, opting for a pull-up J himself. Gets us off the mark. The nice jump shot for 2. Zach Anderson looking inside for Cam Holden. Going to work on Callison. Holden out to Anderson. He drives inside. Step back, mid-range 2. He knocks it down. Both teams, a couple of middies to get us going.
Yeah, a couple of pull-ups. Just seeing Anderson in the warm-up, Joel, he was really locked in. You could really tell to the players, you know, it's a big game, getting prepared.
Callison.
Tough opposition.
Syntainics with the screen. Callison drains it. Oh, deep 2 foot on the line even. And I beg your pardon there, Gareth, because end-to-end stuff here at the SGS College Arena. Anderson, he pulls up for another mid-range 2. Can't get it to go this time. Gunn with the rebound. Stolen by Anderson. Ill-advised pass from RJ Gunn leads to 2 quick points for Bristol.
Yeah, great awareness from Anderson. Picking out that lofted pass. Able to lay that one in with his lefty.
Callison. Gunn. Reeves has it now. Syntainics. Anderson knocks it loose. Callison has to shoot with the shot clock winding down and drains it. Oh my goodness, what a triple.
And that is a tough shot. Callison averaging 16 points in ENBL competition this year.
Zach Anderson finds Holden. Screen comes from Brody. Holden kicks it out to Joe Anderson. Anderson downhill, almost poked loose by Callison. Brody has it inside, turnaround hook, bobbles around and gets the drop. Flies back to within 1.
Good awareness from Anderson. Brody getting good position in the paint. Little hook shot. Get his account underway.
Foster. Reeves curling off the screen, drains it. And that's one thing about Spencer Reeves, his ability to move without the basketball was incredible, and that time led him for an open triple.
Yeah, coming off the screen as well, Joel. Really quick release.
Anderson, step back 3 ball on the way. He knocks it down. And both teams trading threes early in this first quarter. Foster. Holden pokes it loose. Flyers have numbers if they're quick enough. Anderson thought about the 3, puts it on the floor, dishes it inside to Holden. Holden now with Brody. Brody fakes it. Yoakum, he's wide open for 3. Brody with an offensive rebound. Here comes another triple from Yoakum. Can't get it to go. There's 2 good looks by the Flyers. Unable to take the lead.
Yeah, Brody doing some good work inside, grabbing those offensive boards. Flyers an opportunity for another shot. Yoakum unable to get it to go.
Reeves, top to Callison. Syntainics with the screen. Callison on the floor. Hand in the face, knocks it down. Incredible.
Tough shot. Couple of crossovers. And that mid-range jump shot again.
MBC on top by 3. Anderson open, another 3 ball, another 3 ball drops. And we're tied at 12, midway through the first quarter.
Joe Anderson with 8 points in this game so far.
Reeves for 3, another triple drop, just a shootout here at the SGS College Arena.
Wow, we were treated to a good shooting exhibition on Friday night as well against the Caledonia. Both teams over 40%, and this game's picking off where that left off.
Joe Anderson. Brody looking for it inside, top to Zach Anderson. Shot clock down to 5. Anderson to Anderson, into Holden, has to shoot, draws the foul, and just about got the shot off in time before the shot clock expired, and Holden will go to the line for 2 shots here. Wholesale changes in for both teams. Brody and Anderson take a seat for Bristol. Owen McCormack and Marcus Delpesh both into the game for the first time tonight. As Cam Holden finds himself at the free throw line. Unable to convert on the first, and Flyers missing their first 3 free throws here. Holden misses the second as well. But another offensive rebound for Bristol. New 14 for the Flyers.
Good
Anderson.
signs.
Ball into Delpesh with the lefty jam.
So saying good signs that Flyers able to crash the offensive boards. Going old school Bristol Flyers, grabbing those offensive boards, recycling, getting another opportunity. Delpesh making them pay on that one.
Balanic in the post, looking inside for Gunn, gets it to go. Strong finish inside for RJ Gunn. Holden, guarded by Reeves. Holden in the post, nowhere to go, kicks it out to Jonathan Brown. Brown puts it on the floor, and it's going to be a travelling violation against the Flyers. Well, more changes for MBC. Colin Velp comes into the game for the first time, as does John Bryant. And MBC going very big towards the back end of this first quarter. Callison. Reeves coming off the screen. Guarded by Holden. Holden pokes it loose. High hedge from Delpesh. Velp for three on the wing. Nothing but net. And Syntainics MBC red hot from downtown in this first quarter.
Yeah, 4 for 5 from behind the arc. Velp coming in off the bench. Nice shot from him, high arcing shot. Able to string. Good defense though for Bristol Flyers, really putting a lot of pressure on, but Velp had a little bit of space, able to get that one to drop. And 6 points lead now for MBC.
Duglic hands off with Joe Anderson. Joe Anderson pulls back for a step back three, is no good. Rebound ends up with Reeves. 2.5 minutes to go in the first. Velp fakes the handoff. Bryant thought about the three. Now Callison has it. Bryant rolling to the basket. Good ball movement from MBC. Here comes a corner three ball, and once again, MBC red hot from downtown.
Yeah, really well worked offensive ball. Bryant in the middle there, just pinging the ball around left to right, finding an open player.
Duglic inside. Milos Duglic goes the long way round. Vargas with the rebound. Reeves fakes the three. Draws the foul. It's going to be a foul on the floor, though, against Jonathan Brown. Twali Landolfi enters the game for the first time. Joe Anderson makes way for him. Flyers going deep into the rotation early. Of course, the first of 3 games for them this week. Blomgren to the basket. Lefty layup is good. Timeout's called on the floor because MBC are running away with this one. They lead 23 points to 14. Back to the SGS College Arena here in Bristol. It's European North Basketball League action between the Bristol Flyers and the Syntainics MBC. Just under 2 minutes to go until the end of the first quarter. MBC stormed out to an 11-point lead. And Gareth, they've done the damage from distance, 5 for 6 from behind the arc. It
is crazy. Field goal percentage 90%. They're 10 of 11 shots, 5 for 5 for 2 points, 5 from 6 of 3 points. Very, very tough to try and win a ball game when a team is shooting that high percentage. So full credit to them. And I don't think it's the Flyers are playing particularly bad defense. It's just MBC making some tough shots. And Coach Capulas having to call a timeout and try and find a solution to this shooting.
Charles Callison leads the way for the visitors. 9 points to his name. He's been balling out there. But timeout was called by Coach Kapoulis and the Flyers. They're all set to get back underway. Bit of full court pressure being shown by MBC. Have to get it up over the half here. And they've just about got over the 8 seconds.
Yeah, very close. An 8-second call.
JB drives downhill. Landolfi is a corner 2 ball. Knocks it down. Flies back to within single digits. Blomgren. Guarded by Duglitch. Reeves knocked out of bounds by Brown. Zach Anderson getting set to return to the game. Owen McCormack, Marcus Delpesh even will be the one to make way for him.
Yeah, Flyers opting for a slightly smaller, sort of more dynamic lineup there with 4 and 5 man able to step out and shoot the threes. Looking to stretch the floor maybe a little bit against MBC.
Velp has it. Ball knocked loose by McCormack. Flyers force the turnover. Brown downhill. JB throws it down with the lefty jam.
JB's quickness causing slight problems for MBC. A couple of times now he's able to go past his player, and that time attacking the rim. Finishing with the dunk.
Reeves pulls up for 3, knocks it down again. And Spencer Reeves at MBC on fire in this first quarter. McCormack into Brown, and it's stolen away. MBC can push in transition. Reeves thought about the triple. Final possession of the first period. Shot and game clock are almost identical. About 4 seconds differential, but doesn't matter now anyway. Reeves will inbound from the sideline. Just the second team foul on the Flyers. Bryant. Final 10 seconds of the first quarter. Blomgren. Velp, deep 3 ball. Off the back iron, no good. There's a foul called underneath the basket. I think it's going to be called on Owen McCormack.
Duglitch, no, it's 25.
Milos Duglitch is the one who picks up the foul, so NBC will get one more go at it here with 2.7 on the game clock. Ball into Reeves. Reeves, good if it goes, gets it off the glass. And what an incredible first quarter from Syntainics MBC. They've put 30 points on against the Bristol Flyers, and they have a healthy lead after the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, what a performance. Like I said, it's hard to compete when a team is shooting that efficiently as well. So Bristol Flyers, 18 points, playing some nice stuff, but unable to get any sort of stop. Some unbelievable shooting performances. 11 for 12 from field goal, 5 from 5 from 3-pointer. 6 to 7 from 3, 5 for 5 from 2. Unbelievable shooting performance, and yeah.
But, and also, I think the Flyers, they're not playing bad defense out there at all. I think it's great defense, but just better offense out there.
Yeah, I'm sure if you just let them shoot the basketball, playing any defense, they probably struggle to score that higher percentage from behind the arc, but just in complete rhythm right now. And, you know, this guy here getting everything going, Callison getting on with some tough sort of mid-range jumpers to get things going and some tough 3-pointers, and they've just kind of gone on from there, really, haven't they? With Reeves stepping in with some big shots.
When you see it, I mean, the defenders are right there. It's just incredibly tough shot making in that first quarter. Joe Anderson was able to knock down a couple of threes for the Flyers. 8 first quarter points for him, but it's really been one-way traffic in favour of the German team in this first quarter. The big question is, can they sustain that through into the second quarter going into half-time?
Well, you're probably thinking that it is going to fall away at some point. You can't be shooting sort of, 75% from 3 and 85% field goal. We will see that drop away, but it's kind of what damage they're going to do in the meantime for Flyers to try and chip away and get back at this, back into this game.
A couple of big dunks from Flyers. Marcus Delpesh with one, JB with another. But then Spencer Reeves, another incredibly tough shot for them. Of course, he's their leading scorer in the ENBL this season. 11 first quarter points for him to lead the way. And of course, they are a short-handed MBC team as well.
You wouldn't think so, though, would you? Looking at it right now. But yeah, you just think, with Thomas in the side as well, another potent weapon offensively.
Is Velp poked loose by Holden. Holden off to a foot race with Velp. Gets it just in time before it trickles out of play. Holden goes up and down with it. And it's going to be a travel against Holden. And I think that was the right call there in the end, Gareth. It's a foot race down the floor, and then you just see it here. I mean, he leaves his feet and goes up and down with it. And
you've certainly seen those called before there as well. He's sort of the reaching over the top there slightly, but referee was right there, and yeah, he deserved to get something out of Holden for chasing down the ball, but it wasn't to be.
Blomgren finds Bryant. Bryant for three. Bryant drains the three.
Two, I think.
Oh, deep two even. Yep. Beg your pardon. Foot on the line. Brown. Anderson into McCormack. Back screen from... Oh, nice pass inside. And Anderson with the finish.
Yeah, nice play. Pass over the top to Anderson. But it's a defensive end. Really trying to find a way to get MBC out of this rhythm right now.
Blomgren. Bryant looking for it inside. Ball swung to Heck. Here's Velp, fakes it, up and under. Nice move. Lefty finish for two. It's a 14-point lead for MBC. Brown gets it to Anderson. Here's McCormack now, back to Zach Anderson. Anderson floats it up, he's short, but gets called for the foul. And it's going to be unsportsmanlike away from the ball as well, as Akeem Vargas picks it up. Cam Holden ended up on the deck. So that'll be two shots and possession for the Flyers. I don't think you can really... Oh, you sort of can there. They sort of got caught up under the basket. And then a little bit of afters as well, as Holden ended up on the floor.
Yeah, just seeing what the referee's having a little conversation. Can the referees have a look at this, Joel, if they want to have a look at the replay, perhaps? Or does it need to be initiated by a team? Or
I believe they can look at it. I'm just trying to overhear here what the officials are telling the players. 8.5 minutes to go in the first half. It's going to be an unsportsmanlike foul called, though, against Vargas.
So just trying to establish how many free throws. I think Coach could have saying in maybe something in the act of shooting there, and it should be...
I think Coach Kapulis is saying essentially there was two fouls. There was a foul underneath the basket on the shooter, and then there's also the unsportsmanlike foul as well. So he's asking why they don't get the shots for the free throws, the free throws for the foul, but also for the unsportsmanlike as well, because that was away from the ball.
So we're just coming to the bench now just to try and clear things up. Discussion's still ongoing at the moment.
I think it is going to be two shots here for the unsportsmanlike and possession for Bristol.
So it looks like we'll be underway soon. Just see the players, and this probably won't help MBC because they're in red-hot rhythm and a little bit delay in the game.
Well, Bristol have not been red hot from the foul line tonight. 0 for 5 now from the free throw line in this game. And that 1 for 6.
And a nice contingent of away fans as well, making their way over to Bristol.
Brown to get it in. Here's Yoakum. Yoakum goes baseline. It's going to be a foul called on the floor against Heck. There'll be a foul called on the floor. A second team foul against MBC. So Bristol will inbound from the baseline. And it's going to be Holden to put it in. Ball into McCormack. Brown into Holden. Holden with the finish. Basket is waved off. It will be called on the floor. It's going to be called on number 20 for Syntainics, which is Pertu Blomgren.
And that's his first foul. It'll be end line for the Flyers. And I think, as much as I hate to say it, this kind of bitty, slowing it down, fouling, I think it's going to try and suit the Flyers a little bit more, try and get back into this game. Just try and break the rhythm of MBC. So I don't think they'll mind these sort of stop-starty plays, the action in the game.
Here's Brown. Brown pulls up for a mid-range 2, can't get it to go. Brody on the offensive rebound, puts it in off the glass.
Big impact, Brody coming off the bench. Again, another offensive ball. They are getting rewarded for their efforts on the offensive glass.
It's a 5th offensive rebound for the game for the Flyers. Velp finds Vargas. Here's Velp once again. Bryant sets the screen. Blomgren nowhere to go. Velp thought about the 3. Shot clock's winding down. There'll be a 24-second violation. So a couple of fouls at one end, and on the defensive end for Bristol, able to force the turnover here. Chance for them to cut it down to a single-digit game if they can score on this possession. As Stefan Jelks checks into the game. Is Jonathan Brown. Holden. Screen comes from Darnell Brody. Ball into Brody. Brody, nowhere to go. Foul called on Bryant, says the official.
Not sure I like that call. Say it looked like Darnell Brody really attacking. Don't know.
Yeah.
You can't believe it. The veteran player there, 38, 36, 38. Bryant.
38 years old is John Bryant. 6'10". Now his 17th professional season. Here's Yoakum. Ball into Brody. Brody travels with it. And another turnover for the Flyers. A couple of times they've been caught with the travel tonight. As Marcus Foster checks back into the game.
Bryant's a big body, so Brody came to a stop there, trying to sort of pivot around Bryant, taking that extra step. And Flyers putting a bit of full court pressure on now.
Ball into Blomgren. Guarded by Joe Anderson. Jones comes up to set the screen. Anderson knocks it loose. Bryant. Now Foster. Bryant open for 3. He's short. Rebound is tipped out of bounds, and Cam Holden gives the fans in the front row there a little bit more than they paid for. They were sat in the splash zone there, weren't they?
All smiles.
Foster to put it in. Ball into Blomgren. Now with Blomgren again. Back to Bryant. Extra pass. Good ball movement from MBC. Can't get the 3 to go. And just all of a sudden, their 3-point field goal percentage is starting to dry up a little bit here. Yoakum, baseline drive. Stomps on a dime. Turns it over. Blomgren has it. It's going to be a foul called on Anderson on the floor.
I think it's a good foul from Anderson, actually, just slowing down that transition. And that one-on-one. But yeah, careless pass for the turnover. As you said, Joel, just MBC slowing down a little bit. Flyers need to capitalise on this lull in shooting performance and try and get back into the game. Put a bit more pressure on MBC. 11-point game.
Foster to inbound. Blomgren. Screen from Planinic. Jelks inside. Planinic fumbled the catch. Gets fouled by Joachim. So that'll send Planinic to the line to shoot two.
Good quick ball movement inside. A little bit of a call for a travel there, perhaps. And Coach Kapoulis to the side of us, and looked like it might have been a little shuffle there, but foul was called.
Well, Jure Planinic at the line. 6'9" tall from Croatia. He's averaging 11.7 rebounds a game in the German BBL this season.
Sort of about a 3-point shooting percentage, Joel. They are slowing down just at 60% now for the game.
Well, they got an offensive rebound off the missed free throw. So a new 14 for the visitors. Here's Foster. Foster weaves his way through traffic. Planinic has it now, guarded by Brody. In the low post, tough fadeaway jumper. 24-second violation. Hard-nosed defense by Darnell Brody there. Coach Ramondino looking for a foul.
NBC looks like they're running a 2-2-1 press.
Yeah, a bit of full court pressure now being shown by the visitors, just shifting up their defensive setup. Holden brings it up past the halfway line. Ball lobbed up to Joachim and miscommunication on the pass. Blomgren. Screen from Planinic. Planinic has it. Good pick and roll. Flyers with the steal. Joachim to the basket. Coast to coast for Bristol Flyers. Cut it down to a 10-point game.
Strong finish from Joachim, getting out on the break. Finishing himself.
Jelks now to Blomgren. Jelks fighting for it inside. Holden comes around to get the steal. Baseline three. No good for MBC. And Anderson tries to get the rebound, just trickles out of bounds for a Syntainics MBC ball. Approaching the midway point now of this second quarter. Very low scoring second period. Both teams on 5 points each in the quarter. Nice pass into Planinic. Finishes with the right hand off the glass.
Yeah, Blomgren with a great dime there. Pick and roll, lovely pass, leading into the basket.
Holden coming off the screen, puts it into Brody. Brody with the turnaround hook. Planinic with the rebound. There's a whistle on the floor here. There's got a bit of a laces undone situation. Planinic gets done back up there. Got to get it in here. And get it into Blomgren in the end. Blomgren guarded by Anderson. Pulls up for a mid-range two. Is short. Anderson with the rebound. Anderson beats two defenders. Joachim for three. Can't get it to go. And Bristol, they're doing all the right things, Gareth. They're getting some good looks out there. They're playing some hard-nosed defense. They're forcing 24-second violations. Just unable to get the ball in the basket.
Yeah, 2 for 8 now from behind the arc. But Anderson really running the show there. Some great skills. Joachim with the open look. Unable to get it to go.
Foster for 3. There's a whistle on the floor. It's going to be called on Cam Holden for holding. And that'll be the 4th team foul against Bristol Flyers. Just the first personal on Holden. Blomgren, again they've got to get it in. There's a 5-second violation this time. They almost had a 5-second violation on the previous possession as well, but this time able to force the turnover.
Yeah, the last sideline was close to a 5, able to get that call this time, but rare you see that.
Here's Holden. Joachim thought about the 3, puts it on the floor. Ball into Brody. Brody goes up with it. Will it go? Will it go? Yes, it'll go! And boy, did the Bristol Flyers need that. They cut it back to a 10-point game. And the lid's just been on the basket for both teams in this second quarter. Planinic, offensive foul. Cam Holden draws the charge. And Bristol Flyers, they're doing it at both ends right now. Could that be the spark they need to mount a comeback here?
Great anticipation from Cam Holden, knew what was coming, set himself to take that contact. But yeah, Flyers doing a great job defensively now, but just offensively it's dried up for them as well at the same time. MBC again going for this 2-2-1 press.
And they brought Callison back into the game. Here he is guarding Anderson, finds Zach Anderson. Holden top to Joe Anderson. 10 on the shot clock. Joachim feeds it inside to Brody. Good steal by MBC. Planinic leaking out in transition. Count it, and the foul. And MBC will girdle a line for a bonus.
Yeah, big man there. Getting out on the floor. Planinic gets the and 1. And that's Flyers also going to be in the penalty as well. So both teams now in the penalty. But yeah, the big man running rim to rim. Joachim late on the attempt. And that's Joachim's second foul.
Planinic can't convert on the bonus free throw. Here come the Flyers, trailing by 12. 3 minutes and change to go till half time. Zach Anderson gets it to Joe Anderson. Dilpesh comes up to set the screen. Joe Anderson fading away, tough shot, no good. Rebound Foster.
Strong defense for MBC, put in Anderson under pressure, the shot clock was running out.
Foster. Dilpesh with the high hedge. Jelks has it. Back top to Foster. 5 on the shot clock. Dilpesh ends up on the deck. 3 points are on the way. Is good. As Heck knocks it down. Timeout called on the floor. MBC with a 12-point lead. Back to the SGS College Arena, where Coach Ramondino's side lead 42-27 over the Bristol Flyers. Of course, MBC, perfect 3-0 record in European North Basketball League action so far. Their lowest margin of victory has been 20 points. They even had a 40-plus point win in their campaign away at Fillingen Lions as well. So they certainly have been performing incredibly well throughout the ENBL campaign this season. Well, all set to get back underway. It's going to be Joe Anderson to put it in from the baseline. Here's Anderson. Finds Joe Anderson round the back dribble, hesitates, pulls up, mid-range two, no good. Jelks with the rebound. Here's Foster now. Screen comes from Jelks, rolling to the basket. Planinic. Nice pass inside. Bristol Flyers caught napping on defense. Holden, lefty drive into the lane and able to draw the foul. So Cam Holden, another pair of free throws coming up for him.
You just see Cam Holden, a quick kind of first step there, help a little bit slow coming across. And Cam Holden will go to the line. Just one of 6 Bristol Flyers, and I think Cam Holden responsible for most of the free throws. He's able to get that one to go.
I mean, you look at the field goal percentage for the Flyers, 12 for 25 as a team. They're 10 for 16 from 2, 2 for 9 from 3. And the free throw shooting as well. Another missed free throw by Holden. They're getting good looks out there, just not dropping in this first half. Foster. Jokes. Oh, another nice move to the basket. Incredible finish as Moritz Heck gets it to go.
That's back-to-back scores from Heck. One in the corner and getting to the basket this time.
Ball into Delpesh. Can't finish around the basket. Heck hands off with Foster. Planinic. Skip pass to Heck. Heck fires up for 3. Back irons it. Cam Holden chases down the rebound. Able to get it to Joe Anderson into the final minute of this first half. McCormack. Holden. Holden for 3. Is short. Delpesh fighting for the rebound. It's last touched by MBC. So Bristol will have it at the baseline. Ball into Delpesh. Brown makes the 3. As McCormack, he will shoot the 3. Can't get it to drop. And once again, Flyers, their 3-point struggles continue in this game.
NBC played some really good defense, Joel, really controlling the tempo, I think, in the last sort of 4 minutes of the second quarter.
Foster gets it to go. The midi 2 is good. Pushing it out to a 20-point lead here. Their biggest lead of the game so far. Final 20 seconds of the first half. Here's Joe Anderson. Brown. Brown driving downhill. Count it! And the foul. And JB will go to the line for a 3-point play.
Yeah, JB has caused issues for NBC with his quickness. Getting to the basket. He will get into the bucket. You just see him taking his time and then just looks to attack. Quick change of pace. Gets the and one.
Brown knocks it down. Cuts it down to a 17-point game. Final few seconds of the half. Foster, coast to coast, gets it off in time with the lefty layup. And what a first half it's been for the visitors. They lead 50 points to 31 over the Bristol Flyers.
Yeah, and it is a game of margins, isn't it, Joey? Just see there, again, that'd be disappointing. Just the disappointing Coach Kapoulis, his face there with 3 or 4 seconds left of the first half. Player goes coast to coast to sort of, put JB's efforts, just kind of cancels it out, really, and that's disappointing. But it just shows the levels of where you need to get to and these small margins to make a difference.
Well, it's time for us to take a quick break, but do stay with us, because coming up at the half, we'll be taking a look at all the highlights for the Flyers' victory over Caledonia Gladiators in the SLB on Friday night. We'll be back in just under 10 minutes' time.
Farm. Slightly obsessed perfectionists making cider with nothing but love. As you do. I mean, why grow 8 varieties of apple when you can grow 458? The Apple Spa. Because happy apples make better cider, obviously. Here comes the man himself, Martin Thatcher. Friday, 12:30, tasting time. It needs to hit the spot or not a drop will leave the farm. Yes! And that's why Thatcher's cider tastes the way it does. Perfect.
Had a really good competition last time up in Scotland, but yeah, some serious kind of size in there, and that's going to be one to keep an eye on. And of course, Gladiators making a signing as well recently. Andrew Gordon, 6'10", coming off the bench.
Drives towards the hoop, puts it up off the glass, too strong. Oh, gets his own miss. Good work from him. Anderson goes baseline. Shot from the top from Joachim, he's good! Flies out to 5-0 start.
He's scoring 19 points. Kevin Allen, again, real big scoring threat.
Anderson in the lane, gets the friendly bounce. Flyers reclaim the lead. Hollins gets the ball inside to Allen. Oh, that's good work. Brody just sort of left his man for a little bit. There's enough. Spielman.
Feels like Joachim's really taken that responsibility to try and score the basket.
Denied by Zach Anderson. Great defense from him. Brody cleans it up. Here comes Joachim the other way. It's a 1-on-4. All the way to the hoop and scores. Teams exchanging baskets. We're tied at 5, tied at 7, now tied at 9. Drive, the reverse is good. That's a lovely move. Joe Anderson with the score. Flyers back in front. Great cut from right to finish at the hoop. And both teams, Gareth, doing their work around the basket.
Yeah, playing really nice team. Kevin Allen with the assist there. He's just such a presence, draws in defenders, but he's also got the vision to make those passes. Players cutting in.
Malcolm spots up, got it. Stolen. Driving all the way to the hoop, and Anderson's able to score, and Flyers reclaim the lead. Going to get Dan Radic to look up. Holland has it, strips the ball, out to Anderson. Del Pesh gives it up. Brown with a throw down at the hoop. What on... Del Pesh on the reverse, high off the glass and in.
To the Caledonia Gladiators.
McCormack, the pass off. Del Pesh gets the contact, gets the score.
Not active today.
Great initial move by McCormack, wasn't it? And then Del Pesh able to sell the foul. Del Pesh goes baseline. Oh, ejected by Gordon. I think that might be second block of the game, but Del Pesh has it. McCormack from the wing. Got it as the shot clock expires. Hold on. 1 point the difference, 28-27. Stolen. Here comes Holden. Hello! Throws it down. Anderson. Brody has it. Was caught past to McCormack. McCormack drives all the way to the hoop. The reverse is good! Off the glass!
Lovely shot from him. And then we see just the awareness McCormack cut into the basket, goes underneath the bucket.
He now has it. Shot clock running down. Has to do something. Oh, that's a tough shot. The arc didn't look out. Gareth, but it went in.
Yeah.
Yoakum inside with a finish. Zach has it. Oh, that is a great move, finished by Yoakum.
And that is a timely basket, getting their score up to 40.
And they get the ball back. Holland has it. Gives it off to Wright. Wright all the way to the hoop. Goes lefty. Gets the foul. Gets the bucket. Love the way he went to the left hand. Gets stolen by Holden. He's got 2 seconds. Needs to go up. Throws it down. Goes to the layup instead and scores. And they're going to count it. Allen. Round to Holland. Wright spins. Goes up. Tough shot. Somehow got it to go. Great play from Ethan Wright.
Yeah, Ethan Wright really getting going. Saw towards the end of that first half. He had 5 quick baskets and picking off where he left off, really attacking the basket there. A tricky move to the hoop. And the finish.
Anderson spots up. 3 for Joe.
Kiss off the glass.
Well, ones to watch tonight, Gareth, both delivering so far. As Anderson comes up with the ball. Holden. Oh, no look pass and then the finish at the hoop. And that's going to force timeout from Johnny Bunyan. And that's what you want to see, isn't it? So, 13 points the advantage for the Flyers. Malcolm on the ball, guarded by Brown, gives it up. Oh, Allen cutting down the lane, puts it up, puts it in. He's going to the line for a bonus.
Chance to make it a 10-point game, but yeah, just a little change up there.
For the home side is Ragsdale, goes down the lane, puts it off the glass, it in. That's lovely from Matthew Ragsdale. 3-point game. Oh, there you go. From 17 points to 3.
Again, Caledonia sitting this 2-3 zone.
Brown from the top. Got it. Nothing but net for Jonathan Brown.
Yeah,
but good work for Milos.
Yeah, Holland called for the foul, I think, on the offensive rebound attempt. Just see JB there knocking down that zone.
Ragsdale. Turnaround, fade away, that's good.
Unbelievable.
Come back from 17 down. Basket at the buzzer. Just the response the Flyers needed after Gladiators have stolen the lead back.
Yeah, both teams opted in for some big guns. I see some changes. Got Yoakum Anderson back in, Holden back in.
Good defense from the Gladiators. Actually has it going all the way to the hoop. Nice little move and able to score. Anderson calling the play. Coach Cthulhu is very animated. Cormac puts it up and puts it down. Anderson. It's stolen by Ragsdale. Sloppy pass from him. Ragsdale all the way to the hoop. Man on him, puts it up, puts it in. And Andreas Cthulhu says, I've seen enough. I need a timeout. Will Yoakum in the lane. Gets a little bump, puts the shot, doesn't go. Good hustle from Del Pesh. Yoakum from the wing, got it. That's a much-needed basket for him.
No, I don't think you've seen many of them.
At the top, guarded by Johansson, who steals the ball. But then Jimenez gets it back, and Wright has to shoot. Oh, wow! I mean, just look at this play, Gareth. Wright has a look at the clock and just shoots from, shot from the car park.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Holden.
Zone, I think.
McCormack from the wing. Got it. Keeps Dribble alive. Tough fadeaway. Doesn't go. Oh, good work from Karen Allen. Another opportunity. He's going up against Del Pesh. Battling to the hoop. Scores again with the lefty. Holden gives it off to Del Pesh with a throwdown. What a play from Marcus Del Pesh.
And Del Pesh throwing it home.
Let's see this one again. Look at that. He's cutting to the basket. Ragsdale shoots straight away. Got it.
Unbelievable shot. That's 26 points now for Ragsdale. Ethan Wright on 24. McCormack has 19 for the Bristol Flyers. But Wright and Ragsdale.
Any more for Ragsdale, and that'll be his best this season. Oh, that's nice speed to find Zach Anderson for the flush. Gets it inside, and can't finish. That would have been a spectacular play. Outside to Joachim, puts it up, puts it down. And do you know what? They're traded 2 for 3 anytime.
The Flyers putting a run together at the right time. But Ethan Wright on the charge.
Ripped by Joe Anderson. Here he goes all the way to the hoop. Lays it up and in.
Just see there the blow dunk there, but able to recycle it. Didn't go back up. Joachim go for the fourth quarter. Come with the big three-pointer. And then Joe Anderson with pick in the pocket and laying that one in just to give Flyers a little bit of breathing space with 1 minute 18 to go.
Shot from the corner. Ragsdale's got it. That's his new personal best in Super League basketball. 8 points, 50 seconds to go. Little spin move. Joachim has to get outside. Holden spots up. Got it. Oh, he made it look so easy.
He's got plenty of time, isn't it? He just quite a slow release.
Saved by Allen. Good work from him. Holland out to Spielman. He shoots straight away. Got it. Not much time left. Not even fouling. It's out to Holden. Holden to Anderson to finish off this one. And he does with a throwdown as the Flyers pass the century mark. Gets it into Joe Anderson. Joe gives it up to Holden. Holden puts it up, and there is the flush, the finish on the game. Del Pesh says, this one's over. Thank you very much. Good night. Flyers win.
Super League basketball is leveling up British youths. This isn't just a league, it's a movement you can feel and see in the stands. From the first tip to the final buzzer, the story is written. Every drive, every shot, every moment. Rivalries run deeper, games hit harder. One pass, one dunk, everything can shift. Legacies aren't given here, they're earned. New stories are ready, and new champions are coming. Season 2 is here. Stand tall for British basketball.
Welcome back to the SGS College Arena in Bristol, where at the half, MBC with a big lead over the Bristol Flyers. Let's take a look at the stats at the half-time break. And Gareth, I mean, the field goal percentage is unbelievable by the visitors today.
Yeah, exactly, Joel. It's very hard to win a basketball game when a team's shooting at 87%. 53 from behind the arc. It's really efficient scoring, and you just felt in that last sort of 4 or 5 minutes of that second quarter they really controlled the tempo on the offensive and defensive end, and that's resulted in a 19-point lead coming into the third quarter.
Yeah, 72% in total. The visitors are shooting right now, 21 for 29. Incredible. Third quarter about to get underway here then. It's going to be Joe Anderson to put it in for the Bristol Flyers. NBC looking to extend their unbeaten record in Europe this season. And Flyers looking to improve to 3-1. Here's Holden. Skip pass out to Zach Anderson. Corner 3 ball is fouled. And Zach Anderson will go to the line for 3 free throws here to start this third quarter. Well, Bristol haven't shot particularly well from the free throw line tonight. 3 for 9 as a team so far in this one. That 3 for 10 as Zach Anderson blows his first.
Yeah, it's kind of really a psychological thing on the free throw line, and when you're desperate for points.
Anderson gets the second one to go. Off the back iron for the third as well. Here's Gallison. NBC back to their starting unit. Reeves back in, pulls up for 3, knocks it down. And Spencer Reeves, who had 11 points in just 9 minutes in the first quarter, back into the game and straight away, lights out from 3.
Yeah, just off balance as well. Nothing but net. Good space from Brody inside.
Brody finishes off the glass for 2. Here's Callison. Once again guarded by Anderson. Callison goes left, takes the screen from Nikic. Callison out to Reeves. Thought about the 3. Extra pass. Foster, corner triple. Anderson with the rebound. Holden has it, top of the 3-point line. Holden, ball into Brody. Brody again looking to go to work inside. Draws the foul. The follow from Holden will not count, and Dial Brody will go to the line for 2 shots.
Yeah, I like the sort of strategy here, trying to get the ball into Brody. Not really happening from beyond the arc, but Brody causing problems inside for the NBC defence, and they are getting rewarded for getting the ball inside to him. But again, it's a missed free throw for the Bristol Flyers.
4 for 13 as a team tonight. Another one falls short for Bristol. Callison. Anderson with the steal. It comes off his foot, so it will stay with NBC. And the shot clock will get reset to 14 seconds. Reeves to inbound. Ball into Nikic. Hands off with Reeves. Falls up for 3, and Joachim gets called with the foul. So Spencer Reeves will go to the line for 3 free throws at the other end.
And we'll just see that again. Kind of slightly off balance. Reeves, just Joachim maybe getting in his space a little bit. And Reeves will go to the line for some free throws. Only 33% for the visitors as well. Just 3 free throws attempts so far in this game. Reeves to double that attempt with 3 points at the line. 3-point shot. Sorry, 3 shots at the line.
Well, Spencer Reeves, now his second season with NBC. He's a leading scorer in the European North Basketball League this season. Of course, the older brother of LA Lakers guard Austin Reeves. And I know Austin Reeves is often credited his older brother's influence and competitiveness for helping him develop his game in the NBA. So he knocks down the third, pushes it out to a 21-point lead. Brown swings to Anderson. Here's Joe Anderson. Brown drives left, kicks it out to Zach Anderson. Open for 3. Can't get it to go. Callison pulls up for a mid-range 2. Hand in the face, knocks it down. And it seems that Bristol can't get it to go with wide open looks at one end, and NBC extremely contested looks at the other, and getting him to go from 2. Here's Anderson. Puts it on the floor. Zach Anderson, reverse layup, no good. The foul is called.
Yeah, bucket's very hard to come by for the Bristol Flyers, and when they do get looks, they're getting fouled. And probably looking at the free throw percentage, it's not a bad shout putting players on the line. The Flyers are struggling at the moment. 28% from the free throw line, 4 of 14.
Anderson just about gets that one to go. And sometimes, Gareth, when you're a shooter and you want to get hot from the field, it's important to see the ball go through the net from the foul line like this. And you know, if they can turn that into some momentum in the second half, still plenty of time to potentially mount a comeback here. Callison. Reeves on the floor. Callison, extra pass. Foster, baseline drive. Is knocked out of bounds. And it will. It's been called towards MBC here. Obviously, Bristol Flyers can challenge it here. Coach Kapoulis, he will challenge it here. So the officials are going to take a look at this one to see who it last came off of.
So a little break in the game while the referees come over to the table to have a look at the monitor in front of us, just to see who that ball did come off.
So the officials are going to come around to our side of the table. They've got the headset on, and we're going to see who this last came off of. So there we go. So here's the play. Foster with the baseline drive. Cam Holden reached around the back and so Holden with the reach around the back. I don't know if you can better see it from that angle. They can only really overturn the call if they've got enough conclusive evidence to show who it last came off of, and I don't think that angle particularly provides any evidence to show that it could have come off of a
certainly not
MBC
conclusive. But sometimes you look at players' reactions as well, whether he got any contact there. Very hard to tell.
Well, they overturned the call, and there will be Bristol Flyers ball. And obviously saw enough evidence there to suggest that it came off an MBC player. Bit of full court pressure being shown by the visitors. Here's Brody. Kicks it out to Holden. Holden has it. Drive left. Can't get it to go. Brody on the rebound. Could have been a goaltend in there. Here's Reeves. Reeves floats it up. Foul is called. And Spencer Reeves will earn himself another pair of free throws here.
Yeah, so I'm just looking at the bench there. Coach Kapoulis thought there was a bit of basket interference on the last Flyers offense, but yeah, the play continued and Reeves will find himself on the line. Quick succession trips for him on the line.
Spencer Reeves, 16 points to his name. And just 12 minutes of action as well. Gets it to go with the first. Comes up short on the second. Here's Brown. Coming the other way into a double team. Turns it over. MBC with the steal.
Good double team.
Foster, Gunn, extra pass to Callison. Nikic hands off with Foster. It's going to be an offensive foul on the handoff. So Bristol will get this one back here.
Been quite disruptive play of passage of play here with the review and some fouls.
It's been a low-scoring quarter as well. I mean, NBC have outscored the Flyers 7 points to 6 so far in the third. Ball into Brody. Brody fakes it once, twice, goes up with it. Again, another pair of free throws coming up here. Another pair of free throws coming up for the Flyers, where they are 6 for 16 in this game.
And that's the third foul on Gunn for the visitors.
Brody again goes 0 for 2. The Flyers, their free throw shooting is not helping them in this game. Here's Reeves at the other end. Can't get it to go. It's an offensive rebound by NBC. Reeves, ball inside. Nice pass to Callison. Reverse layup off the glass. And the visitors really running away with this one. Brown, ball into Brody. Comes off the foot. As McCormack and Duglic come into the game, Anderson takes a seat, so does Darnell Brody.
Brody, a little disappointed look on his face coming off there. He'll know. Free throw.
McCormack open for three. McCormack knocks it down. This is the Flyers' third made three-point field goal of this one. Callison. Screen from Nikic. Has it inside. McCormack reaches in and gets called for the foul. It will be NBC to inbound from the baseline. Foul called on the floor. It's the first foul on Owen McCormack.
NBC are in foul trouble, though, although it was a Flyers foul, their third personal team foul, where NBC are in the penalty. Just over 5 minutes to go.
Reeves' three is short. Holden to McCormack. McCormack, nice pass into Anderson. Anderson puts it in. Quick 5-0 run by the Flyers.
Yeah, lovely cut from Zach Anderson. McCormack with the assist.
Reeves, guarded by Holden. Double team comes. Nikic has it. Ball out to the corner for three, and Foster knocks it down. Oh, it's a ill-advised pass by the Flyers, and now Reeves leaking out in transition, gets it to go. Coach Kapoulis calls timeout because just when you felt that Bristol had momentum, NBC go on a run of their own. Welcome back to Bristol, where NBC have maintained a healthy lead over the Bristol Flyers. And Gareth, it was a quick 5-0 run for the Flyers before the timeout was called. I mean, NBC then responded at the other end, and just when you felt that Flyers were starting to change some stops and scores together, They find themselves on the receiving end of a transition play off a turnover.
That's it. It'll just completely kill that momentum that Flyers have built up. A careless turnover, and they'll get punished when you're playing a high-level team in the Bundesliga.
Brown. Anderson drives inside, kicks out to McCormack for three. Back-to-back threes for Owen McCormack.
And he does score in bunches. We saw it against Caledonia that McCormack, when he gets hot, he goes on a bit of a streak.
He went 5 for 6 from downtown in that win on Friday night. Blomgren, right-hand drive, all the way to the basket. Incredible finish over the outstretched arms of Brown.
Yeah, that was a really tough move, and looking for the contact as well.
Brown. Step back, mid-range two, no good. Holden fighting for the rebound, ends up with it. Puts it up, nothing given inside. Holden again chases down the rebound. Anderson has it at the three-point line. Back into Holden. Here's Duglic cutting back door. And it's last touched by the visitors.
Zach Anderson leading Bristol Flyers with 9 points.
6 on the shot clock. Owen McCormack for three. Can't get it to go this time. Holden knocks it loose and commits the foul. Oh, it's going to be a foul called on Reeves even, beg your pardon. So Holden did knock it loose. Reeves with the hold. So Bristol will get this one back.
It's good to see interesting the referee there. He blew he knew something was wrong, blew the whistle, then he had a little think about it. Offensive foul, I think Reeves with the elbow as Cam Holden took the ball away from him.
Second personal foul on Reeves. Brown drives left, puts it up, can't get it to go. Rebound battered into the hands of Reeves. Blomgren. Holden with the reach around, commits the foul.
And that's Cam Holden's second foul.
So 14 foul on the Flyers. So both teams in the penalty. The rest of the way in the third. Foster, step back triple on the way. Holden with the rebound, his 6th rebound of the game. Holden driving down Main Street is blocked, but a foul called on Nikic. So Cam Holden will earn himself a pair of free throws at the line here. He's got 2 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists to his name so far tonight.
And a lot of conversation seems to be going here in the arena. We've got players and referees talking to each other, coaches getting involved.
Well, a technical foul is called. Physical foul as coach called on Coach Ramondino.
You have to be careful here. He's got one already. His team are up quite significantly here. 20 plus points.
Well, it's going to be McCormack to take the shots here for the technical. As he gets it to go, and then Cam Holden also is going to shoot the free throws after being fouled. And Gary, if you look at the scoreboard, I mean, 67 points to MBC. They were red hot to start this game, and Bristol have sort of put the clamps on a bit more on the defensive end. You feel that there could still be time here for Flyers to mount a comeback, but they're going to have to knock their shots down, and they have to continue piling the pressure on the defensive end.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are going to have to happen. I think MBC just shooting the ball still incredibly well. 69% field goal, 47 from behind the arc. And Flyers on the other end. Things are beginning to pick up a little bit, a few more looks.
Reeves fakes it, takes it, is short. Rebound for Holden. McCormack leaking out. Anderson has it. Holden attacks the defense, puts it up, can't get it to go. Chases down the offensive rebound, puts it up. Again, can't get the drop to go. He was looking for a foul in there somewhere, but no call by the officials. Blomgren. Anderson knocks it loose. Top to Reeves. Shot clock down to 10. Reeves has it. Nikic with the screen. Reeves nowhere to go, but able to get it through to Nikic. Oh my goodness, the hook shot off the glass.
And threw it in off the glass on the shot clock running down.
Anderson. Out to Duglic. Duglic looking to attack. Can't get it to go. McCormack with the offensive rebound. He can't get it to go. It's blocked by MBC.
MBC just controlling the tempo once more. The experienced Reeves slowing things down.
Blomgren into Nikic. Again, the hook shot. This time no good, but Velp with the rebound. Vargas for three. Drains it on the wing. And MBC, their 10th three of the game. Anderson finds Holden. Duglic. Anderson. McCormack comes up to set the screen. Anderson, step back triple. A high arcing three. Gets it to drop. Shot clock and game clock are almost identical here. So MBC will wind this one down to end the third. Blomgren. Reeves. Nikic with the screen. Reeves, step back, deep two. Is short. And that will do it for the end of the third quarter. It is a 22-point lead for Syntainics MBC. And Gareth, they look well on the way to extending their unbeaten record in this competition.
Yeah, they look very good for it, don't they, Joel? Really just controlling the tempo. Bit of a closer quarter that time round, but still you feel in control. Flyers getting good actions in and around the basket, but solid defence. And you kind of feel like the damage has been done, really. And I think both teams will probably just look to play out this last 10 minutes of the game.
Is look at some of the key highlights from the third. Reeves able to knock down the triple. He's now up to 19 points for the game's leading scorer. Charles Callison not far behind, 13 points to his name, with only two players in double figures for MBC. As Flyers, Joe Anderson, 11 points for him. Zach Anderson not too far behind on 9. But a lot of work for Bristol Flyers to do. They are in a deep, deep hole. And if you look at it, Gareth, I mean, the free throw shooting, 9 for 21 in this game. This game could be a lot closer if the Flyers are shooting closer to their average on the season.
Yeah, left a lot of points on the line there. And yeah, just 8 trips to the free throw line for the visitors. And they're shooting 50%, but you just look at their 2-point percentage, 82%, 47 from behind the arc. So really efficient. And you look at the other stats, the rebounding battle, NBC winning that 28-21. NBC sharing the ball really well as well. 19 assists and the Flyers 12. So a lot of categories where the visitors are leading.
You have to think also, Gareth, I mean, with the team that NBC have put together, not only competing at the top end of the German Bundesliga, but this unbeaten run they're on in the ENBL, they have to be one of the favourites to do extremely well, if not win the whole thing this season.
They're certainly going to be up there as contenders, aren't they, really? This will take them to 4-0 in the competition. Said third in the Bundesliga. And they play some really nice basketball if they're shooting the ball that efficiently. In all competitions, a very, very difficult team to win against.
Vargas top to Blomgren. Velp comes up to set the screen. Blomgren guarded by Duglic. Blomgren, oh my goodness. Velp with the follow, puts it in off the glass. Delpesh hands off with Duglic. Duglic, downhill drive, can't get it off the glass. Chases down the offensive rebound, again can't put it in. Ball out to Anderson for a third chance opportunity. Skip pass out to Landolfi in the corner, deep three ball. No good that time. Velp gathers in the rebound. A minute gone in this fourth quarter. Blomgren. Velp, nice pass inside. As ball just slips through the hands of Vargas. Anderson, top to Duglic. Here's Landolfi. Duglic, lefty drive. Milos Duglic with the lefty jam.
Some nice ball handling skills there from the big man. Getting to the rim. Throwing that one home.
Foul called away from the ball. It's going to be called on Landolfi, I believe. Oh, McCormack even picks up the foul. So he picks up a second. And Jokes will inbound from the baseline. Oh, ball into Velp. Flyers caught napping on defence.
Yeah, he called it, Joel. Just a very simple baseline play. Leads to an easy score.
Anderson. Weaves through traffic. Duglic, deep three. Overcooks it from downtown. Rebound is secured by Heck. Velp. Blomgren has it, turns the corner, out to Jelks, extra pass, Vargas, corner three ball. Delpesh with the rebound. It's going to be a foul called on Blomgren. So Zach Anderson checks into the game. Owen McCormack takes a seat. And again, at some point in this game, you have to feel that focus will switch to a big game on Friday for the Flyers. Of course, they take on London Lions right here at the SGS College Arena.
Yeah, I think kind of those thoughts already sort of must be in Coach Kapoulis' head. Really tough game against Lions on Friday night. Of course, they're playing European competition tonight as well.
Here's Vargas. Heck to Blomgren. Blomgren up against Landolfi. He's fouled. And he'll go to the line for 3 shots here. Darnell Brody, Will Yoakum both return to the game. Pasquale Landolfi takes a seat. So does Marcus Delpesh. And John Bryant checks back in to the game. as Velp takes a breather. Well, Perttu Blomgren, of course, 6'5" guard from Finland. Had extended minutes here in this game tonight. Of course, a short-handed MBC team. Can't get the second to go. Anderson gets it over the timeline to Milos Duglic. Joe Anderson to Zach Anderson. Brody, skip pass. Anderson, corner 3 ball. Basket is waved off.
Stepped on the line.
And Anderson, stepped on the sideline. So, again, a well-worked offense. Able to get the shot. A great look, it went in. And Flyers with a unforced turnover there. Well, Bristol get it back here. Last touch by MBC. Holden returns to the game. Milos Duglic takes a seat. Anderson. Holden. Turning the corner, ball into Brody. Brody puts it up and in.
Yeah, nice finish from Brody, just turning his back on the defender and over his head.
Blomgren. Bryant calling for it inside, ends up with him. It's going to be a foul called on the entry pass against Darnell Brody.
Yeah, Bryant's a big body when he seals you inside there. Yeah, Darnell Brody, just the judge to have sort of manhandled him, trying to manhandle him out of the paint. Gets called for a foul.
Bryant open for 3, knocks it down. Here's Joachim. Brody back to Joachim. What about the 3? Spins in the lane. I think Bryant might have got a piece on that one. Stolen away by Anderson. Here's Zach Anderson. Euro step. Reverse layup off the glass. Approaching the midway point now this fourth quarter. Bryant. Now top to Blomgren. Kicks it out to Heck. Bryant calling for it inside. Brody knocks it loose. There is the foul committed in transition. And it's going to be a technical foul from Cam Holden for throwing the ball off the defender there. You see it here on the replay. There's the turnover as Brody gets his hand in the passing lane. And then Cam Holden gets the technical for throwing it off the back of the defender afterwards, which I think in hindsight was probably the right call there.
Yeah,
to
I
be
think
made.
so. Yeah, exactly. So the referee's right there. That's the right call. Bit of frustration there on the fast break, and Holden just throwing off the back of his head. He's probably arguing that he's trying to find a player in transition.
Well, a technical free throw is good by Blomgren.
Bristol Flyers ball on the sideline. 5 minutes 21 to go.
Anderson to put it in. Gets it into Brody. Here's Zach Anderson. Finds Joe Anderson for 3. High arc off the rim, no good. Zach Anderson, another 3 ball. Can't get it to drop. Bryant with the rebound. Foul committed by Holden. And Coach K looking to call a timeout on the floor. There's just over 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. MBC leading 82 points to 56. back to the SGS College Arena, where MBC have a healthy lead over the Bristol Flyers in this one. Spencer Reeves leading the way, 19 points to his name, 6 for 11 from the field, 3 rebounds, 2 assists as well. 50% from downtown. And Gareth MBC, they went up to the races early. They did damage in that first quarter. And he missed a couple of field goals in those first 10 minutes. And that really was the separation they needed. They've really just held out the rest of the way.
Yeah, they've just gotten through the gears a little bit, haven't they, in that unbelievable first quarter. I don't think I've seen a shooting performance quite as good as that from a visiting team. But yeah, 30 points in that first quarter. And then Flyers did a good job the second and third, 20 points, 22 points holding the visitors. But offensively, just 18, 13 and 19 in their respective quarters for the Bristol Flyers, and 6 in this quarter so far.
Well, Bryant converts on the second free throw. Brody, skip pass to Anderson. Holden. Shot clock down to 10. Foul is called on the floor. Be a 14 foul against MBC. Anderson gets it into Zach Anderson. Here's Joe Anderson turning the corner. Zach Anderson open for 3. Is fouled by Jelks. And he'll go to the line for 3 shots here. You see they left Anderson open there, and a late closeout by Jelks. Just landing in that landing space. So Zach Anderson, 3 free throws coming here for the Flyers. And Gareth, looking ahead to the weekend for Bristol Flyers, of course, London Lions at home on Friday. Then it's Cheshire Phoenix on the road on Sunday. So they won't have too much of a turnaround here from Wednesday night going into that one. But important to finish strong here for Bristol. They won't want to be going into Friday night's game without some momentum of sorts.
No, that's right, and I think they'll have learnt a lot from tonight's game as well, leading into a very difficult game at home against the Lions. But a good preparation to try and, Lions obviously undefeated in the SLB this season. And, they are that next level up, and having a game like this, I think, will prepare them for that game against London. It's going to be a very difficult game.
Blomgren. There's Jelks. Now here's Bryant. Hands off with Blomgren. Bryant has it, top of the three-point line. 3-pointer comes. They have to shoot with the shot clock winding down. Bryant's triple, no good. Holden with the rebound. Holden hesitates, kicks it out. 3-pointer from Anderson. Knocks it down. Bryant. The ball comes off the face of Vargas. He just about saves it from the over and back. Bryant hands off with... it's stolen by Bristol. Yoakum downhill. Yoakum to the bucket is fouled. And he'll go to the line to shoot 2. And Gareth, you've seen some signs of light from the Flyers in the last couple of possessions or so. A couple of stops and steals, and they won't do too much damage on this 21-point lead, but certainly could give them some confidence going into the weekend.
Yeah, I think that's going to be it now. Joel just going to run through the sets, trying to get some good looks, run through the plays, and try and take something out of this game into Friday's night challenge against the Lions. So,
of course, it's also important to remember, a bunch of teams can all finish on the same record this season with the nature of group play in the European North Basketball League. So, Flyers will certainly want to finish with a positive points differential of sorts. Jelks with the offensive rebound, puts it in off the glass.
And what was the average win that MBC play in the ENBL competition, Joel? You mentioned earlier on.
Jokum with the triple. Their smallest win margin this season in the ENBL has been 20 points. So right now it's 19-point lead. Jelks. Heck to the basket. Is knocked out of bounds by Jokum. Vargas to put it in from the baseline. Ball into Foster. They've left him wide open for three. Holden with the board. Holden, step back three. No good from deep. Rebound by Foster. Foster. Turn around, fade away. There's Bryant who puts it in on the follow. Brody. Ball into... Well, it's going to be an offensive foul against Brody. There's Stefan Jelks able to take the charge.
And that's Brody's second foul.
Milos Juglic getting set to return to the game. And McCormack coming back in for the Flyers. Foster. Foster spins out of a double team. Foster, oh my goodness, what a move. The scoop layup is good.
Just piling on the misery there. Great play from Foster. He's really stepped up in this second half as well.
And you look at the score sheet, I mean, all 12 players for Syntainics have been able to get points on the board. The minute load has been spread evenly as well. McCormack with the three, no good. Only one player has played over 20 minutes, and that's been Marcus Foster. Jokum comes up with the steal. It's a 3-on-1 for the Flyers. And Will Jokum puts it in with two hands. Here's Foster. Guarded by Holden. Bryant comes up to set the screen. Foster saves it from an over and back. Ball into Bryant, who finishes off the glass. As we enter the final minute now of this one. Holden. Screen comes from McCormack. Ball goes through the legs of Bryant. Holden able to retrieve it. Kicks it out to Brown. Brown for three. Splashes it. Cuts it down to a 20-point game. Jokum with the steal. Throws it down with two hands. Jokum again pokes it loose, but this time gets called for the foul. And that'll send Foster to the line for two because Bristol are over the limit here.
Yeah, both teams in a penalty. But Jokum putting a nice little play, some action together, some good defensive stops, a couple of steals and a dunk there, but Yeah, really just seeing the game out.
Well, Foster able to knock down the first to get his tally up to 10 points to go along with his 7 rebounds. Foster knocks it out of play. Duglitch hands off with Holden. Brown. Looking for McCormack. Extra pass to Duglitch. Shot clock down to 6. Duglitch with a step back 3. Drains it. There's still 5 seconds to go in this one. Foster floats it up. Holden with the block. And that will do it. MBC, it was an incredible first quarter by them. Started this game red hot. And they come out on top. 93 points to 76 over the Bristol Flyers.
Yeah, really, you say professional performance, but really kind of showing their class. Coming into Bristol, 93 to 76, but yeah, really got to a flying start. And Flyers didn't play that bad defensively, but just offensively, NBC just couldn't miss, shooting the ball so well. 90-odd% field goal percentage, and that's very, very hard to try and recover from that kind of performance. And we know talk about the troubles on the free throw line and just their own field goal performance.
Well, here's a look at some of the key highlights from this, a second half even, and Spencer Reeves led the way, 19 points for the visitors. It was a dominant display by the visitors here. Charles Callison with 13 points to follow up behind Spencer Reeves. And also, you've got to bear in mind, they're doing it short-handed here.
I'm not sure you can say short-handed.
Of course, without their second leading scorer.
Yeah, of course, I know. But they have plenty of talent on that team as well.
For sure, for sure. Well, it has been an incredible win by NBC. They improved to 4-0 in the European North Basketball League. As for the Bristol Flyers, they will look to bounce back this Friday against the London Lions at home. For Gareth Till, I'm Joel Osborne, saying so long, and we'll see you next time.